It's Papa Swoleo, it's Harry Squatter, it's Papa Swoleo, getting fucking yoked for episode 478 of the Daily Swole.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
What up, hoes? What up, bitches? What up, busters? What up, sluts? What's up, pimps? What's up, homies? What's up, bros? What's up, home slices, home skillets? What is going on? I'm out. What's going on, fam? Hello, and welcome to episode 438 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Beep, boom, beep, boom. I can't even call it a podcast, it's just a fucking gamecast. Welcome to the only live broadcast where you can watch a human being, bearded and haired, grow live on camera. You're going to watch a human being grow on camera. They say you can't watch a teapot boil. They say you can't watch paint dry. Well, I guess you can, but it's boring as fuck. This is not that. Nay, this is... Welcome to Gainesville. Yeah, welcome, JC, to the Swolecast. Thank you, Isaiah. I appreciate it. If you're loving the shirt, Harry Squatter, if you want to be like Papa Swoleo, you can always get yours at Swolenormousapparel.com. Shameless plug. I got my coffee cup. There we go. Let's check this out. If you touch my beard, I get to touch your butt. Please touch my beard. I wish I could say this is mine. I mean, my own brand, but even though that's not the case, it's truth. So please touch my beard. I'll touch your butt, and I love some booty. And the great thing about this, and the reason why I'm using this cup, well, I'm using this cup because it's fucking awesome, but the other reason is because today is all about that ass, though. It's about that ass because tomorrow, those of you that are joining for the first time, you're going to be like, if you're joining for the first time, just stick around. Trust me, it's weird as fuck, but it'll get weirder, but just stick around for a little bit. Come on, stick around. You will see where this is going. So tomorrow in my premium community, we got the workshop. We got the You Don't Know Squat workshop. So today is about the glutes. Tomorrow is going to be about the glutes. And tomorrow night, it's going to be Papa Swoleo. It's going to be the whiteboard. And we are going to fucking chop down glutes and leg training and why it's so important. We're going to start right now. So thank you so much for joining me every day live at 12 noon Eastern time, right here where you are right now on Facebook at Swolenormous. You can also watch all the episodes on YouTube and listen, fuck your ear holes with the knowledge nukes. Blood dripping down your face and getting caught in your beard. That would suck. On SoundCloud and iTunes. So also, if you're not following me on Instagram and you want to see pictures of my abs and me flexing and doing weird shit, Instagram stories and Snapchat and all that, you can check me out there. So welcome. Let's get started. Episode 400. Where is it? Right there. 38. Hold on. That 8 is looking a little bit. Oh yeah. Is that round or what? What the fuck? Look at that shit. Woohoo! Oh, I love 8s. They're just like, they look like glutes. If you turn them sides, they look like glutes. They look like titties. There's everything good is about the 8. It looks like an infinity symbol. I think 8's the best number. Is that right? I think 8 is the best number. So yes, thank you for liking. Thank you, Rogerio, for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Please hit the share button. If you're friends with lots of children on Facebook, ixnay on the air shay, but I would still appreciate it. So Harry Swoleo is going to get the show on the road. Float some hearts if you don't think I've had enough caffeine yet. Float some hearts if you do not think I've had sufficient amount of coffee yet. And I'll chug some. Okay, there we go. Chug. Oh, go. Oh, if I could go down on coffee, I sure as hell would. Let's get started. You don't know glutes. Or with this episode, you don't have glutes and I can prove it. You don't have glutes and I can prove it. So how am I going to prove that you don't have glutes? Well, first off, I'm going to teach you about the glutes because I already know. I just know you don't. I don't know. I know you don't have glutes. But that doesn't mean you don't have a fat ass. Ladies, gentlemen, I mean, come on, ladies like a fat ass too. There is a disconnect between what people think is a butt and what is actually a working butt. So we have glutes that work and we have glutes that look like they work. Like you'll see someone with a huge fucking ass, like a huge ass, huge, like a big booty, right? You'll see someone with a huge butt. It's not functional. And you'll see it because they're maybe overweight or they got a lot of J in the T, junk in the trunk. And that doesn't mean that they have glutes. That doesn't mean they have an activated glutes. And that's what we're talking about today. Making sure the glutes are working. So today is the glutes. We're all about the booty. Today is about the glutes. Are they working? Are the glutes working? Are they functioning properly? Are they doing what they should do? And what do the glutes do? Let's start with the basics. We'll go into it more tomorrow. And of course, tomorrow night, we're going to really get into it. It's not porn. There's no nudity, but we're going to get into those glutes. We're going to go deep. We're going to go balls deep in the glutes. Can't take that one back. But let's keep moving forward. So maybe you'll forget. But the internet's forever, so fuck me. Glutes. Activated. Are they activated? Are they working? Are they awake? Let's do that. Are they awake? Now what the fuck does that mean? Did the glutes sleep? What does that mean? The glutes are on your backside. The glutes are a muscle. The gluteus maximus, the gluteus medius, the gluteus minimus. Oh, thank you. The glutes are very important. They create balance. They create balance. And how do the glutes create balance? Well, not so much like, you know, they're balancing you by like how big they are in the front, like a seesaw, but they balance your hips. Every muscle in the body has some sort of balance. And what I mean is not like, would they fall over? What balance means is around the joint that they cross. You see, every single muscle in the body crosses a joint. And a joint is where two bones meet. Otherwise, you'd have a bone, let's say the forearm, let's just, you know, the forearm bone, we'll call it, you know, the ulna bone, okay. And you had a muscle that goes from here to here. Like, it's not gonna do anything. It's gonna shorten on what? A bone? Like, it's not pulling anything. There has to be some kind of like a pulley system and a lever and some kind of action between two bones that a muscle is crossing to pull one closer and to do, you know, flexion, to raise the arm up. A muscle has to cross a joint. When it comes to the glutes, it's like any other muscle. The glutes cross a joint. They cross, you know, the pelvis, and it goes to the femur, so it can move the leg up and, you know, back and forth, and so on. So the glutes have a job to do. Now, the glutes are not the only muscle in the hip. There are muscles on other sides. So that balance that I'm talking about, eraser, engage, dun, da, da. Clean board. You see that? We all worry about technology and the phones. This is magic. I just had words on the board and I went, no words. That's technology. That is human innovation. I want you to remember that next time you're watching some bearded freak on a live broadcast. This is the real shit right here. Thank you, Expo. This is not a sponsored post, by the way. Balance. So you have a joint and you have that seesaw effect. Right? Where you have balance between two sides of the joint. So you might have, for example, the glutes, and let's just use, for example, the hip flexors. Now, I say hip flexors because many of you are familiar with the term hip flexors. You're familiar with the idea that muscles on the front of the hip can get very tight. And that happens because you're sitting down a lot in a chair. You're sitting down a lot in the car. You're just sitting. You're sedentary. Being sedentary is one of the major reasons why people have, this whole society has fucking problems, is because you're getting overweight because you're not active, but you're also sitting down, so muscles are getting very short and very stiff, and those are the hip flexors. So the hip flexors get tight. But what happens, okay? Why don't you have glutes, and why can I prove that? I can prove that because I know that 90% of you or 95% of you that are watching are more sedentary than you should. And even if you're active, and even if you're exercising, chances are you're not activating the glutes because you're not working to reverse this. Just because you go to the gym, just because you lift weights, just because you eat organic or whatever you do, doesn't mean your glutes are activating. You have to do specific targeted exercises to turn these on because they're so sleepy. Your glutes are tired. They're tired. They're sleepy. You gotta wake them up. Wake up! Whoever's through that wall is like, what the fuck is going on over there every day at noon? So when the hip flexors get very tight, that's from sitting down too much. And I know this is gonna be a lot of information, but I'm gonna explain it very much so you can understand it because we're gonna go deeper into it tomorrow. Oh, thank you. The hip flexors, when you're sitting down so much, when your hips are in a bent position from sitting down in a chair, right on the front of your thigh, okay? When you sit down too much, too often, these get very tight. When they get tight, the glutes get very weak, okay? And then it turns into this. You have the glutes down here, and then you have the hip flexors up here. So what occurs is an imbalance. Does that look balanced? Of course not. Of course not, Papa Swolio. Hell fuck no, it doesn't look balanced. If that looks balanced, then your head is jacked up. It looks good to me, okay? We're not sloth, all right? This isn't the Goonies. That ain't balanced. What this means is that the glutes are not doing their job. The glutes here are the king of the jungle. King of the jungle. For any Game of Thrones fans out there, float some hearts if you love GOT. The glutes are the king of the north. 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 That's the glutes. I am good. Someone's going to call the cops. Someone's going to call the cops. King of the jungle. King of the north. All right? The glutes are Jon Snow. The glutes are Jon Snow. The hip flexors are the White Walkers. The hip flexors are not doing their job either. No one's doing their job. It's imbalanced. So the glutes are sleeping. The glutes are deactivated. They're shut down. They're tired. They're sleeping. Too stiff, too short, because you're constricted, because you're sitting down, your legs are always bent and you're always crumped up in a seat. Glutes, dormant, over lengthened, inhibited because of the pressure from sitting on them, shut down. And because they're shut down from the brain. What does it mean to shut down a muscle? It means you're turning off the connection from the brain to the muscle. You're literally shutting down. You're literally flipping the switch, and you're powering off the glutes from the brain to the glutes. That's legit. You are shutting off the glutes from the brain. That's what you're telling your body. Because you're sticking yourself in a position in the same way every day, you're telling your body, we don't need these glutes. Shut it down. Your body's not going to maintain glute activation and hip balance if it doesn't need it. Your body's like, all right, roger that. Power down. And essentially, your brain loses the phone number to contact the glutes. So the glutes just kind of disappear. That's not good, because then when you go to the gym, you're like, hey, I found Papa Swolio. I'm excited to start pumping some fucking iron. Let's lift. Let's get yoked like it ain't no joke. And then you go to the gym, and then you start squatting. You start looking on Instagram. You're like, ooh, I like what she's doing. She does that. She has a butt, even though she's fucking 17 and it's all genetic. Let me do squats. Let me do squats. Let me do lunges. Let me do jumps. Let me do jumps. Yeah, Zumba. But what happens is your glutes are still shut down. Your brain still isn't connecting to your glutes. So you start exercising again, but then you're not using your glutes. And you're thinking, well, Papa Swolio, how the fuck am I not using my glutes? If I'm doing a squat, aren't I using my glutes? And you would think that's the case, honestly. I'm not saying, you're stupid. I'm not saying, how the fuck don't you know this? This isn't common sense. This isn't common knowledge. Your body does this automatically. This is like the way your body is designed. This is the way your body works. You don't have to think about these things. Your body will detour around things Because your glutes aren't firing properly. Because they're not firing properly, they're not going to be working when you're doing all these exercises now. Does it mean they're not working at all? Of course not. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I'm exaggerating. I'm not saying you don't have an ass and that doesn't function. I'm just saying that neurally, it's supposed to be the king of the north. It's supposed to be the fucking king of the jungle. And what's happening is they're not the king of the jungle anymore. The main muscle that's supposed to support your hips, that's supposed to provide balance, provide stability for your knees, provide stability for your lower back. If you're constantly hurting your back and your knees, your glutes aren't functioning properly. One way or another, your glutes are not working properly. And those chronic injuries are very common. It's very common to have repetitive knee problems. It's very common to have repetitive and chronic back pain. The glutes stabilize the hips. They align the lower back. They align the spine. If your glutes are out of whack and the hips are imbalanced, you're more likely to slip discs. You're more likely to have herniations. You're more likely to have bulging discs. You're more likely to have chronic back pain. You're more likely to have shoulder pain. You're more likely to have neck pain. You're more likely to pull your hamstring. You're more likely to injure and get tendonitis in your knees. You're more likely to hurt your foot and get plantar fasciitis. I'm telling you, this is everything. This is not something, this is fucking everything. It does everything. It does everything. And when you have issues here, you have issues all the way up and all the way down. And that's no joke, that's fact. The glutes, when you start going back into training, you are not going to have that activation. Just because you want to go back to the gym, just because you're squatting, doesn't mean they turn back on. Because what you've taught your body is that you don't need the glutes. When you go back to the gym, you're not turning on your glutes. You taught your body that you don't need the glutes. So you can't integrate them into your training. You can't do a full body movement or a squat and expect them just to fire on. You have to go back to the ground level. You have to go back to the basics. And that's what I've been telling all you sons of bitches for the past week or two. You have to go back to the beginning. Remember, I talked about if you're in the middle, you have to go back to the beginning. You have to make sure you're doing the right stuff from the beginning. So if you're not doing the right stuff from the beginning, you got to go back to the beginning. And how do you go back to the beginning? You isolate. You do isolation exercises to turn back on the glutes. That's just part of it. Not only do you have to do isolation exercises here, but you have to shut this down because they're working too hard. You have to bring this back. You have to bring this back. You have to make this even again. Okay? And it doesn't just happen by activating this. It doesn't just happen by stretching the hip flexors. It happens by working this isolation and doing this in terms of stretching and inhibition. And that is why everything that we talk about here, that's why I have this as a strong foundation in my 90-day dash program. That is why I have the live yoga group, because all of those things combined, that's what we talk about in premium all the time. And those exercise demos where I have the squat assessment, where I have how you do a proper squat, the single leg squat, the single leg, the hip bridges and the cobras and all these different exercises that activate the glutes in order to create this balance. That's what we're talking about. Those of you that are in my premium group, you know this is what we talk about all the time. These are what the exercise demos are for. This is why I'm always preaching balance. That's why I'm always preaching yoga. That's why I'm always preaching these activation techniques. That's why I'm always preaching to go back to the basics, because if you're firing your glutes, float some hearts if you pull your hamstrings. Float some hearts if you do lunges and you feel it more in the back of your thigh than you do your glutes. Float some hearts if you feel in your lower back or your hamstrings when you do a squat. That shouldn't be happening. You should feel either sore everywhere from your glutes and everywhere, or you should be feeling all in your glutes or feeling nothing. You shouldn't be getting sore and getting crushed in your quads and crushed in your hamstrings and not feeling your glutes at all. You're not doing it right. You're not firing these muscles properly. And the pitfall of that is injury, is chronic pain. And I will tell you, it's great to want abs. It's great to have abs. It's great to have a goal where you want to look a certain way. It's great to have a goal where you want to be a certain strength and you want to lift a certain amount of weight. That's all well and good, and I respect that. I don't care what you want. I do, but I don't. Like, you can want whatever you want. You can have your own goal. I have recommendations. I know what I've done. I know what my goals are, but you're gonna have different goals. You're gonna have different interests. But the most important thing is that you understand that there is nothing more, there's nothing more fucked up And there's nothing more miserable than dealing with chronic pain. There's nothing more discouraging. There's nothing that sets you off your path and your journey more than chronic pain, than an injury. You think taking a couple days off, you feel like, oh, I'm a fat ass, or I feel lazy. Try getting injured when you're like at your peak, or you feel super fucking motivated and you're on point, and then you're set back for a couple months because you're injured. You don't want to get hurt. I'm not saying to lift like a pussy. I'm not saying to baby yourself. I'm not saying not to push yourself. I'm not saying to go so easy so you don't hurt yourself. Oh, I don't want to get injured. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you need to lift with, on the side of caution. And you saw my You're Fat video, right? The Truth Hurts video, when I talk about your body, treat your body like your car. You're going to maintain your car. You're going to change the oil, rotate the tires. That's what this is. Is it glamorous to do hip bridges? No. Is it glamorous and exciting to do a single leg squat? No. Is it exciting to do a single leg balance reach? No. Is it exciting to do lateral tube walking? No. None of it's exciting. You might not like anything about exercise, but if you want to look a certain way, then you better suck it up and fucking do it, right? Suck it up, buttercup, and do it. When it comes to the glutes, it doesn't necessarily have... People don't want to do these stabilization exercises. None of you want to do these balance exercises. None of you want to do the fancy stuff. You want to go to the gym and throw some fucking steel around. I get it. But that's the glamorous. That's the glamorous aspect of it. That's the fancy shit. That's not the stuff that keeps you healthy. That's not the stuff that keeps you feeling good and out of pain. Because I'll tell you what, you can look amazing. If you're in pain, you don't fucking care. It sucks to be in pain. It sucks to have knee pain. It sucks to have shoulder pain. It sucks to have back pain. That is why yoga is so important. That is why this kind of foundational training is so important. And that is why the consistency, this is real. This is real. You're watching me on your phone. How many of you are standing up doing glute exercise right now? Most of you are probably sitting down. You're watching on your computer, your tablet. We sit down so much, and as technology progresses, there's a huge disconnect between what keeps human beings healthy and where technology is going. I love technology. However, technology is making things so easy that we have to do less and less. Fucking Amazon, you push a button on the Amazon dash and things fucking just show up at your house. Drones are gonna make it so you don't have to go to the store ever again. Movies are streaming right to you don't have to go to a movie theater because you don't want to get shot. You don't want to be around a lot of people. You don't want to wait in line. You can just get things where you are. Fuck, you're watching me. I don't know the majority of you personally. I haven't met you in person. You're watching a random person. You're watching fucking Papa Swole wearing a Harry Squatter shirt, which is pretty badass, by the way, talk about booty on a little square that you're holding. Okay? We're doing less. We're doing less, but our bodies don't need any less. Our bodies require more, but technology is allowing us to do less and less. So this is more and more prevalent. This is like eating your vegetables. This is like taking your vitamins. This is like taking out the trash. This is cleaning your room. This is, washing your face. This is what it has to be for fitness. Remember, it's work. It's work. It's work. Work out. Work out. Work out. It's not a fucking fun out. It's not an entertainment out. It's a workout. You go and you fucking put in work and you leave. You work to make money, you work for your body, and then you go home. That's it. You gotta work. You gotta put in some fucking work, and that's all it is. All right? When you go to the gym, there are things that you want to do, and there are things that you have to do. When you're at home, there are things that you want to do, and there are things that you have to do. When you're at work, there are things that you want to do or prefer to do, and things that you have to do. This is one of those things that you have to do. It's one of the things that you absolutely have to do. So here's how it's gonna work. Tomorrow for episode 439, gonna get a little bit more into the specifics of these exercises, of what you should be doing and the mentality and how you should be doing them. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time in my premium group, we have our premium workshop, You Don't Know Squat. That is the title of the workshop tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern time that you can watch anytime later. So if you're in premium right now and you're watching this, if you can't make it at 8 p.m. Eastern time in the private group, you can always catch it later in addition to all the other previous workshops from the prior week. So you can catch up. And if you're interested in checking out my premium group, my exclusive accountability group with exercise demos, Q&As, webinars, seminars, and these workshops, it'll be about 50 minutes to an hour. We're gonna break it all down tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. The link is in the description of this post, premium.swolenormous.com to sign up. Going hard tomorrow again, and then tomorrow night for the premium workshop. I'm super fucking excited. You don't know squat? Get those glutes today. It's coming up on hump day. I'm so excited. Wednesday and hump day and glute workshop day. Joy. Oh, Ren, are we working our glutes? Yes, Stimpy. We're going to get yoked like it ain't no fucking joke. Whew. Wow, that was interesting. That never happened. Ren and Stimpy fans out there, holla. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me for episode 438 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. Come on. We all flex our biceps. Thanks for joining me live on Facebook every day at 12 noon Eastern time, and then catching all the episodes on YouTube, listening on SoundCloud and iTunes for the podcast. Couple things, if you have not left me a Facebook page review right here after we're done, please take a couple moments and leave me a Facebook review if you can. And also, if you haven't on iTunes as well, I appreciate that as well. I'll see you all on Instagram and on Snapchat for the daily strangeness throughout the rest of the day. Premium, love you guys. I'll see you all later as well. And peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose. I'll see y'all for episode 439. You ready? Later.